עוד יותר, יוצרי התוכן של ישראל.
I miss this. I miss this noise.
It is.
Guys, it's been like way too long. Way too long.
It's been way too long because you were traveling.
Yeah, it was a summer hiatus, summer break, summer vacation.
I want it to be very clear whose fault is that.
Again, mine.
It's yours.
Everyone messaged me on Olim and TLV. They were like, did you run away from the war? I'm like, no, it's summer vacation.
Yes. Yeah, you have a record of
I do have a track record. So actually, Olim and TLV was invited to the United Against Anti-Semitism conference in New York.
Very nice.
Which was a big deal for us.
Nice.
We were with like the top leaders, Montana Tucker, Yechiel Jacobs.
All of them are our friends, by the way.
Yeah, all of them are friends.
Yeah.
It was like 250 influencers against anti-Semitism. The state of Israel invited us. No one knew who we were.
It's hard to believe.
No,
it's hard to
a few
believe.
people knew who we were, but it was amazing. We networked. We just all came together, and it was super, super awesome.
Nice.
Next time they want to do it in Israel, actually, which is they should.
Yeah, they should
do it in Israel. But yeah, just a few updates. I officially quit my full-time high-tech job to do Olim and TLV full-time,
Olim and TLV
which is a big deal. And it's interesting because I feel like these past few months I've actually been getting a lot of questions on Olim and TLV from our followers that are looking to get into jobs in high-tech. Like the market's been pretty stagnant lately. And I think that's a key topic that I want to discuss today. And we actually have representatives from SixFigures here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And I'm going to talk about my story of getting into high-tech and everything. But do you guys want to introduce yourselves and what SixFigures is?
Sure. I'll go first, even though you should probably go first, but whatever. My name's Yalit. What else do I say about myself? Well,
if you were an animal, what kind of animal?
I've been asked.
What's your astrology sign?
Well, I'm a Scorpio.
You're such a Scorpio.
The animal thing has been discussed like 7 times in the past 3 days, so that's crazy that you asked me that.
I felt that.
I feel like I'm like, I don't know, I want to be a horse, but apparently I'm like maybe a cat. I don't know, but I would go with horse if it was my choice.
Solid choice.
I did SixFigures like 3 years ago. So it's been a minute, but yeah, lots has happened since then. So
nice.
Here I am.
My name is Neil Goldstein. I'm one of the founders of SixFigures, and I'm an operating partner at a VC called Greenfield Partners. And up until recently, I've been the VP of Sales at a company called Monday.com.
No, I know Monday.com.
I'm sure you do.
Monday.com.
Yeah, okay, something familiar. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So wait, what kind of animal are you?
Yeah.
And what's your star sign?
I would say an eagle, but my star sign would be bull.
No, what is your star sign?
A bull.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
What's a bull?
Taurus, yeah.
I knew. I was gonna say you were such a Taurus.
It suits you.
Yeah, she says that all the time. Whatever you will say, she'll say, you're such a bull. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, real quickly, I want to introduce my story about getting into high tech. Like I made Aliyah from Texas, if you didn't know, from Texas, almost 5 years ago, and I was working at PwC for 2 years, management consulting, and then I got into the tech sphere here, and I only was able to get into tech because I had an Israeli friend who helped get me in. And I feel like a lot of Olim struggle, and we'll talk about this too, but a lot of Olim struggle because they don't have, chaver mavi chaver, or like those Israeli friends to get them into the tech scene. So can you tell us a little about what SixFigures does, what the company stands for? Just give us a little more background info on SixFigures.
Of course, but I want to generalize the problem for a second. If you're looking and getting into high tech, up until a decade ago, it was usually mainly for programmers, because Israel was an empire of R&D, mainly for development and programming. Since then, in the last few years, Israel has evolved, and now we have complete companies, which has also marketing and sales and customer success and finance and all those functions in Israel, which opens a lot of opportunities for people that they don't come with tech background. And it's mostly relevant for most of the Olim that didn't learn how to program abroad. They come here, and they're looking how to get into the Israel's most strongest industry, which is the high tech. And we are looking to give them the background, the tech, the knowledge and the background, the professional background in order to get into those companies. One of those most required positions is sales. So we're teaching all the sales needed knowledge in order to land in one of the Israeli tech startups.
I was in sales for a long time.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, for a long time. I sell Dead Sea products.
Wow.
I was
Which
in,
one?
everything.
What did you do? Binary options?
What? Binary options, no, because I still have a little bit of a soul, just a little bit. And what else? Like I worked in the Gentleman, the store, like gifts for men.
Oh, yeah.
You know that store, 100%. Of course you do. Your whole
I'm a
office.
gentleman.
Your whole office is a gentleman, yeah. So yeah, I was in sales for a long time. There's a lot to learn, actually, other than just being a nice person.
But this is very different from the sales you will have in tech.
Obviously.
Yeah.
This is B2C sales. You're selling to end customers, which is very different from selling to companies.
Yeah, but I have a background. You can hire me.
Monday.com. Matan Parrot salesman. So it's a fun fact, but not a fun. I wouldn't say fun fact, but this is an interesting fact. According to a survey, the biggest challenge for Olim working in the Israeli tech ecosystem here is finding a job. Like it's very hard for Olim to break into the jobs, and a lot of Olim leave because they're not able to find these jobs. I get hundreds of messages a week. Do you know of any companies hiring for this tech position? Do you have any connections to this company? So I think there's a big barrier with Olim getting into tech. I think a lot of Olim, and we'll talk about sales specifically, but a lot of Olim either rely on a connection, an Israeli connection to get them in, or a lot of companies are not only looking for English, they want Hebrew and English. So if you don't have a little Hebrew, they'll automatically won't look at you.
And I guess more languages, right? Like it's an open market for like a lot, like Italian or whatever, like French.
Yeah.
German speaking, French speaking. I know sales organizations that would kill for those people, including now.
Exactly, because we were focusing a little bit like on the English speakers / Americans / whatever, but there's a lot of Olim. From different countries, and they can find jobs in their native language and also Hebrew. So that's very important, to say.
And especially the sales job, which I want SixFigures to talk a little bit more about the course, about what you guys do. I feel like people focus in tech too much on the sexy positions, quote unquote, which is like programming, developing. Are
you saying sales is not sexy?
Sales is the sexiest position.
When you think of sales, you think of like typical like corporate. I think of corporate America, like calling, like, oh, do you want to get this job? So I want SixFigures to kind of talk about the course that you guys do, how you guys view sales, why is tech sales different from regular sales.
So first, like in order to land your first job, you need a connection or somehow to open the door, but then the entire hiring process starts. And that's where they are going to test your knowledge, your skills, and so on. And we try to give you the keys to open both of those different challenges. First, by having the right network. So all of our mentors, all of our teachers are actually professionals who lead few of the largest sales groups in Israel. And the second is the knowledge. Selling B2B, it's practically first and foremost becoming a trusted advisor. There's a methodology on how to understand your client, how to know their pain, and how to demonstrate how your products and solutions are basically resolving those pains. And there's a full methodology to that unfortunately none of the companies are teaching that. They're expecting you to come with that. And that's what they're mostly testing during the hiring process. And this is what we're teaching and practicing.
Nice.
Very nice. Do you have to apply to this course, or does everyone get in? Like, how does it work? Do you have to have any background?
So you don't need to have a background.
Okay.
The course was built for people with no sales background, no tech background. You need to have proper English. Because this is like one of the base building blocks for Israeli tech.
You would say most tech firms here are looking for the English in the sales.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Even if you're, by the way, like selling to other markets, like French market and so on, you would need to have at least a basic level in English.
Yeah, I think Olim that comes here, even if they're not like from America, they know
they
English.
have basic
They have to
English,
know
yeah.
English
They
just in
have
the
to.
basic level.
Yeah.
So Yalit, what do you do in the company?
Well, I don't work for SixFigures. I'm just a graduate. So
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's
Tell
it. So
they
tell us
haven't
about
hired
yourself.
me yet.
Yes.
I don't know. They haven't hired me yet. So
A little bit of a passive aggressive here on live.
Well,
I love that.
I'm free right now. I just I lost my job 2 weeks ago. So hint, hint.
Hint, hint.
But yeah, I did SixFigures about 3 years ago. I wasn't in high tech yet. I had done a job that was basically these two brothers that were making videos for other companies. So like prospecting videos, like SDR work, but actually with video. And then basically they would sell the service to other companies. So I was doing that all day. And that kind of exposed me a bit to like the tech world because I was reaching out to tech companies, smaller firms in the Netherlands. And
Where are you from?
I'm from Miami
Nice.
originally.
Miami, right?
Yeah, I'm from Miami. So I was doing that, left that, and then I was like, damn, like I want to get into the tech sales world. I've always done sales. I had a baby at 18, which wasn't expected, so I kind of had to
You're a
find
mom?
job. I have 3 kids, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You can do whatever you want. You have 3
Yeah.
kids. You can do whatever you want. There's no job is safe from you.
I don't know. That's what I've been doing, but let's see. Let's see
Listen.
what happens now.
Oh
'cause,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of rejections this past week, but it's okay.
You
It's
know.
okay. We'll get
Rejection
past
is
it.
redirection.
Exactly.
Aw, look at you, little bumper sticker right here. Nice.
Yeah, so I went ahead. I heard about SixFigures because a friend of mine, Rosie, was actually a coach there, a teacher. So I was like, damn, am I going to do this course? Am I not? Like, I know my shit. I know how to sell, but I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? I don't have anything to do. I love like just doing courses and spending money. So let's do it. You know, it's
Amazing.
going to make me more money.
Americans in a nutshell.
Yeah, exactly. My husband, who's like, Temani Tunisai, was like, nah, you don't like this shit. Just go get a job. You're amazing. You can do whatever. I was like, no, Alon, you don't get it. We have to spend the money. That's how I get the job. So I did the course. And it was, for me, the whole thing with it was, there's lots of courses online. And before it, I was part of a lot of communities from the States for sales. But first of all, the States, they don't understand shit over here. Like, they don't understand that things here can be crazy. The companies are much more
In general, I think they don't understand anything about Israel.
Yeah, they really don't. They don't
In general,
understand.
yeah.
Like, I would like bring up something and be like, "Oh, that's just like not appropriate for your manager to say." I'm like, it doesn't work like that here. Like, they're gonna say whatever they want.
Yeah.
They give feedback. Like, so I had tried all that. The hours too. I was like waking up at like 1:00 in the morning to be on some
Yikes,
webinar,
yeah.
and I'm like, this is crazy. So I said, okay, let's try this. And for me, the main thing from it that really, really helped me was, first of all, exactly what Nir spoke about before, is just having like a methodology. Like, before I knew what I was doing because I have a lot of emotional intelligence, so it's kind of like,
Because you're a mom.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Come on.
Connect the dots too.
Yeah.
But for me, I needed the methodology, and the other thing too, for me, like the main reason why I initially signed up as well was like, this is an opportunity for networking.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I'm
That is
in,
true.
and I'm paying to be part of the course, and I'm going to learn a lot of things too. But those connections and being able to, first of all, learn this with other people, partner up with them, which was really helpful. Actually practicing the work and not just learning it and then like, okay, fuck it, go find a job now. Good luck. So that was a huge thing. And for me, the networking too was like, it was a game changer. It's just like getting your
amazing.
foot in that door,
Yeah.
and it's worth it if you think about it. Like, the amount of money someone can make if you're doing well in a sales position in tech is I mean, it's up to you, right? It's kind of, you don't really have a roof. So to invest in your future and into learning something and taking those materials and meeting people, for me, it was like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of like being in sales. Because
Yeah.
if you're really good at sales, if you're really good at programming, for example, there's like a limit of what you can make.
That
You know what I
is
mean? Because
true.
that's your job. That's what
Yeah.
you do. You can be amazing at programming and, but if you're amazing at sales, there's almost no limit.
Yeah.
I know.
Do you-
Believe me, I know.
Do you
I
think
know.
you're born like as a naturally good salesman, or is it something that's it's half split half? You have to learn the skills, and you're born with it. Like,
I would say it's a bit, I think like, again, if you're a super introverted person and you just don't want to communicate with anyone, you don't want to see anyone, like,
Don't do
maybe
sales.
it's not
Don't
going
do
to be for you
sales,
because you're
yeah.
going to hate what you're doing all day. But on the other hand, I think that like the methodology is what really gets you to that next level. Because if you don't have that and you're kind of just shooting in the dark, yeah, you're going to win sometimes, right? Because that's just like statistically you have to.
Yeah.
But your wins can be so much higher if you actually have a methodology and like a way that you work and a structure that if you do that every single time, you're going to know that you have a certain percentage of times that you're going to win deals. And the rest is like statistically, obviously, you're not going to win everything. So
you would say it's a mix of both, being like...
I think so.
Yeah, of course. Even if you're an amazing musician, you have to learn like the, all the little things, the practical things that to make whatever talent you have more precise. So I think it's really applied to sales.
I think that in B2C sales, again, like standing in the center of the mall and selling Dead Sea, you need to born for that. It's not for everyone.
It's a natural talent.
Or fail miserably. It's either one.
Did you fail miserably? No.
Oh, you have no idea. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you're a naturally good salesman.
Yeah, but it was hard for me. It's a long story.
Okay. Well, we won't get into
Let's
it
just
today,
say
folks.
I
Next
failed.
episode.
Thank you. We'll talk about next episode.
Yeah.
Matan fails the Dead Sea products. Yeah, let's go.
But it's 90% of you being able to create relations very quickly, being convincing people. And in B2B, that maybe would be a 10%. The 90% is like the methodology, the ability to understand the client.
Wow. How many Olim have you guys worked with? Or is everyone Olim, basically?
My group was around 200 people in Monday. 100 of them were here in Israel. And I would say the vast majority would be Olim.
Wow.
Maybe 90%.
Was your cohort mostly Olim?
Oh, my cohort actually wasn't. It was actually mostly Israelis. I didn't have a lot of Olim in my cohort.
Israelis with English.
Yeah, Israelis with English.
We exist, Noah.
And like a lot
We
of them
exist.
too.
We have a voice.
Where are they?
Not only
I need
Israelis,
to meet these
but
Israelis.
who know English.
More than the average where you from?
Because it was like, one of the people that I paired up with a few times on assignments, Amir, he's a lawyer, right? So it's like a lot of them have degrees, have done things, and they're just deciding now to make this kind of change and trying something new. Everyone knew English, right? But for me, I don't think there were any of that.
And I think it's even better if you're an Ola, right? And you work in like an Israeli workspace. We talk about this all the time, about making friends and making connections, making a true Israeli connections, not just for dating, like a true Israeli connections. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you're still in your ecosystem in work, like, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to engage with Israelis to be an Israeli. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this. I was actually just talking to my brother about this 2 days ago, but do you guys feel like Americans, like, in Olim are too nice to work in sales because we don't have like good negotiation skills? Like, Americans kind of take everything as is. Like, they don't really negotiate. Like, you tell them a fee, they're like, okay. Like, they don't know how to negotiate. Like, I feel like I am the one who negotiates everything for my friends, and all my American friends just like take everything as is. So do you see a difference between like the American Olim and the Israelis that come in?
I've met Americans like Wolf of Wall Street Americans.
Thank you.
These ones that are selling while they sleep.
Wow, interesting.
Yep.
So it depends on, like, I think the
state of mind is different. I think when you're just a tourist or whatever, or an ole, when you go to to the market, you're not gonna negotiate the price. You can take it, but when it's your job, you sell. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's your job, And I think it's even more important because when it's your job, you're going to take it as someone who worked in sales for almost my entire life. When you work in sales, it affects your personal life. So you're going to be...
How so?
Because you negotiate all day. Right, you're convincing people, you're working, you understand their needs, you try to adjust yourself to their needs, and that's very Israeli in general. That's very Israeli.
It's like a constant state of pressure too, I would think. Like, I think that there's this idea of, okay, yeah, you're going to work your 9 to 5. Like in sales, I've never experienced that, because if someone's sending me an email at 9:30 while I'm putting my kids are asleep way before 9:30, but at 9:30 I'm sitting and chilling on the couch and they're like, send the contract. I'm not going to be like, do that tomorrow. I'm like, okay, right now I'm pulling out the computer, I'm sending the contract, right?
It's a demanding job.
Yeah.
So yeah, although it's obviously not your company, but it's your salary, right, is determined by how much energy you're going to put into this and how hard you're going to go for it. So for me, it's like just always being on my toes and being ready for it, which is also what excites me about it. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Food for thought for people too.
Interesting.
We got some funny stuff going.
Yeah. I want to actually discuss different sales strategies of Israelis and get y'all's thoughts on it.
Let's go.
We're going to start off one by one, and everyone needs to go around and say if they think it's a successful tactic, if it's not. So, tactic number 1, the shuka caramel tactic, aka yelling at people. What do you think of that as a sales strategy? It seems to work on a lot of people, on the tourists.
I think specifically for the market that works.
Yeah.
No other scenario in life that will ever work. You can't be like, buy a watch. No, it's not gonna, buy this car.
Do you see the video that Zach Margolin and I did in New York, in the New York market? We were in New York, Zach Margs.
No.
And we were in the street market there, and we pretended to be Israeli salesmen, and we were just yelling, like, in the middle. People had no idea. Like, it's normal in Shuk HaKarmel, but obviously in New York, like, no one would ever see
But
that.
I feel like people in New York are, like, bugging anyway, so you always see, like, really weird things on the street.
They were unfazed.
Okay, there's, like, another
they were like,
okay.
they were literally unfazed, But what do you guys, I think the tactic works, right?
So a quick tip, do not try this tactic on European clients. Unless you
Only
wanna,
Americans.
And like with Israelis, it may work. You want to come in with your polite suit at the beginning. If it doesn't work, then switch to Shuk HaKarmel and close
Caramel
the deal.
yelling, yeah. Do you think the Shuk HaKarmel workers take specific courses on how to sell?
I think it's in their genes.
I think they are born in that position. Like it's a 5-generation yelling. It's not, you know what I mean? You're just born with it. If you're too polite, you're gonna work at some other job. You're not gonna,
You're gonna go
On a
to high-tech.
You can go to high tech. If your dad works in Shuk HaKarmel and you're a little bit more like chill,
So funny.
you can go work, high tech sales. That's the same thing without the yelling.
Okay, second tactic. Lurking around in the mall, aka complimenting like people and, oh my god, you look so pretty. Do you want to try this?
Oh, I hate that.
In the
I hate
malls, lurking around. That's kind of what you did, no?
That's what he failed at.
I don't think the word lurking would be ever something positive about anything.
It's just
you know what I mean?
Wandering around the mall looking for your next target. How's that? How's that sales tactic? It seems to work for the Israelis
for
in the
predators, not for like.
I mean, the Israelis working in the kiosks in the mall are predators.
Yeah, but like, what can you like? That's the position that they put you in. I don't think like I hated it for 6 months. I did it, and I hated every second of it because you obviously can make sales. Like that's what I did because you have to pay rent, right? But like it's not a fun experience.
Yeah.
Like, hey, no, it's.
But it's part of it is like complimenting people. Do you think that's a good sales tactic?
Keep it to the mall.
Keep it to the mall.
Exactly.
Not to the top.
Keep it in the mall where it belongs and don't. Yeah, complimenting people. It's a very good tactic in life in general.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Not just when you want to sell them things.
But I feel like it doesn't work. Like if you compliment me and then you're like, oh, but like try this cream. I'm like, oh, so that wasn't real.
Yeah, it's kind of contradictory.
Exactly.
Like,
you just compliment and walk away. That's all you do.
Yeah. And the next strategy is for Israeli guys. It's the where you from, like going up to a girl and being like, where you from?
Vomit.
How do your husband? How do you and your husband got together?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Tell us the story.
Tell us the story.
Damn, that's a long time ago. I don't know. I was in a boarding school here, and he was in the school, but not in the boarding school, like the Israeli kids in the school. And yeah,
Which
I don't
one?
know.
How old are you? Like
I'm 27.
no, but how old were you?
How old was I? I was like 16 at that time.
Wow.
Oh, well, okay. That's not a good example.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it
they
was
met at
just like-
school.
He didn't even know what where you from was back then.
He didn't
He
know.
tried that, but it was just like for me, like I don't know. I don't fall for that kind of stuff. Like it's just like gross. Like just speak the language that you know and don't try to talk to me in English.
Apparently, there's an 80% success rate with where you from, though. Like,
80%.
Yeah.
For
Who
them,
told you that?
Olim and TLV stats.
For them, it was which class are you?
Yeah, exactly. What do you do on
funny.
recess?
So I want to talk about a little the barriers to entry in this field, though, because I feel like there are barriers to entry, mostly for Olim, actually, in the tech. What would you say the biggest barrier to entry is? And how does SixFigures help with overcoming that barrier to entry?
I think the two ones are, again, getting your foot in the door to even like getting an interview. And once you do have an interview, companies are expecting you to come with the right knowledge, knowing the methodology, because 99% of the companies, they do not teach you how to run sales from zero. And that's where most people are failing at. And this is how we're trying to unlock them both. First with our networking of mentors and graduates, and second, making sure that you have the right knowledge and the right practice in order to succeed the hiring process.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice because I think a lot of people are intimidated by high tech
100%.
because they don't have the right background and I know of my friends, Israeli friends that are just pivoting their career right now, lawyers, whatever. They did whatever they do. Or like people who went to college with me, communications, right? And they're like, okay, the biggest fear is that they don't have the background. So if you guys given the whole package, I think that'll give a lot of people just give it a try.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For a long time, when I tried to, switch my career into sales.
Where you were before?
I came from more technical background, doing data and system analysis. And at some point in my career, I wanted to switch it over to sales.
Because you know where the money is. Come on.
Exactly the right
Come on. Tell us the truth. I just wanted to switch to sales, just switch. Come on.
Money.
Okay, so you got the
money all day long.
Thank you. Get rich or die trying, Noah.
And I didn't realize, I didn't understand why companies are not giving me the chance. But once I became, on the other side, the hiring manager position, I then realized it's a $1 million bet when you hire a sales rep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's the cost of a mistake.
Wow.
And that's why, companies, they do not take someone with the right knowledge or skill.
They don't take chances.
Yeah.
They'll take someone who's already well done. They don't take the rare ones. Yeah, that's awesome. That's true. Yeah. So,
would you say, I kind of touched base on this earlier, but in my mind, and I think a lot of people's minds, maybe not in y'all's minds, but sales just seems kind of like a boring, dull,
for who?
Not lucrative job. A lot of Americans think of sales because we have this corporate America image in our head. So how is tech sales different from that? How does it not fit into the regular stereotypes that's associated with sales?
I've never heard that stereotype before, but go ahead. Answer that question.
Lots of Americans feel that way.
Really? It's an amazing job for me. First and foremost, you make a lot of money and you control your own destiny. But other than that, you meet a lot of people, you meet a lot of organizations, and unlike, the perception about sales, you basically consultant for so many organizations. You're deep diving into their pains, into their business problems, and showing them how to resolve it. So it's not only just the sleazy, pushy sales of let's close the deal.
Yeah.
You're basically helping organizations to have greater success. So it's really an amazing.
I think the biggest stereotype about sales, by the way, which is true, it's not that it's boring or it doesn't make you any money. It's the fact that they're always looking for someone with a background. I remember when I started, nobody hired me. Because they were like, okay, so what's your sales background? What's your sales background? All the time. And I was like, but I'm good with people. Give me an interview. They will refuse. And I'm talking about the smallest companies where I'm doing you a favor for me asking to work here. Nobody looked at me. So Dead Sea products, you don't have to have anything. You have to have a brain and a heart and and a functioning, organs. And I went there. And then when I came back, I did it for 6 months. I came back. Same questions. What is your background? I was I was 6 months in sales for Dead Sea products. And then all the doors were open. Okay, you have background, whatever. So that's the biggest obstacle. And if you're, and you guys solve that. So I'm going to tell my friends.
To sign up,
I'm going to tell my friends.
To sign up for the course. What's the structure of the course? How does the course work?
So it's basically a 3-month course.
Okay.
It's being done online in the evening to allow you to work, to allow people working, learning, do whatever you need to do. It's twice a week, 8 p.m. on Zoom, super convenient.
Oh, nice.
And it's, as I said, it's being granted by the people who lead the largest sales groups in Israel and the top tech companies.
The top dogs.
How many people are in the course itself usually?
Usually it would be somewhere between 15 to 20 people in each
Great
course.
opportunity to meet people, winky face.
You just had to.
We love meeting people.
Yeah, on Zoom. That's where the love story begins.
You never know.
Yeah, 100%.
You never know. And do you guys offer help after the course also to find jobs? Do you guys have a job placement process within the course?
Yeah, a lot. So first, part of the course itself is also learning how to create your LinkedIn profile or how to reshape it.
Do you have a LinkedIn profile?
No.
Wow.
I had.
When you make
And
your-
now I don't need to because I'm a stand-up comedian.
I
Nobody
feel like stand-up
gives a
comedians
shit.
need to have LinkedIn too.
I used to get. I think when I started like really blowing up, I still got all this like emails from LinkedIn. Like, there's a new position for you, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? That's amazing. I would just go inside just to like
It's a
check
good
it out.
confidence booster.
There's no job that would be like, you know what? I'm going to quit stand-up comedy. I'm going to do this. But yeah, it's,
So it's LinkedIn, it's your CV. You know, you're coming with no proper sales background, how to shape your CV, what you should expect in the hiring process. So we're teaching it all, including practicing it. And then once you graduate, we leverage our network. So it's a small community in Israel. We usually know people who know people, and we try to open up the doors. And also, when you have an interview, when you have a home assignment, we're always available for you to help you.
you did the course?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I took
she's
the
a graduate
course.
of it.
How was it?
It was good, yeah. I mean, I went on from there to work at an ad tech company and do account management there, which is basically just sales. Yeah, it was, again, the course.
You feel
for
like
me,
you're amplifying.
it gave me I mean, I always have balls, but it gave me a bit more because I was like, oh, now
You were
I just
married to
did
an
this.
Israeli, of course. You know.
I know what I'm doing. I have this methodology. I have it written down. I know that I can run it by myself. But yeah, I think that community afterwards is a big thing too. So I'll plug myself a bit too. I do have a community called SDRs of Israel, which is basically SDR's sales development representative. So it's kind of the position before an account executive, which account executive is more what you're learning in Six Figures. And basically with a community too, I think that it's just having people, along with Six Figures, having as many things as possible where you can bounce ideas off of people, network with people. Because again, like you said a few times here, it's getting your foot in the door a lot of times.
Right.
And if you know this person, okay, you went to an event together, it's much easier to now send him a message and say,
100%.
hey, you're working at XYZ. Do you mind sending in my CV? Which automatically is putting you higher than the people that are just applying on LinkedIn, right? And don't know anyone. So yeah, I think it's just really networking, and continuing to just stay involved in these communities because, right, you get placed at a job and then look at me. Now I don't have a job. So,
but you will have soon enough.
Yeah, you need to fall back onto these communities, right?
Yeah.
Because if you
100%.
disappear to when you have a job, then it's like, well, now you're coming back. Like, it's being around for people too, offering that help. And yeah, I mean, in my experience, everyone was always super helpful, really willing to go out of their way to, teach you or make sure that you know what you're doing. But again, right, practice makes perfect.
I genuinely have a question about the tech hiring process for sales. Like for finance, we would have to do take-home exams or like exams on the spot, like Excel stuff or like finance questions. Does sales have like exams also? Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call it an exam. They usually call it like an assignment.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes there is like a test on the spot, right? Like go ahead and demo the product to us or
Got it.
do the discovery part of the call, right? But yeah, I've never interviewed for something that I didn't have some kind of assignment.
Got it.
It would usually be a sales simulation, and this is exactly what we're
you
tuning
teach.
the
Nice.
practice of the.
Amazing.
Very cool.
You should know how to sell, not just in your 9 to 5. You should know. In general.
Yeah.
In your dating life, from experience, you should know how to sell yourself.
Always.
And I got to tell you, I'm selling myself like crazy right now.
You are.
To people that you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. You're a good salesman. Yeah.
Too good.
Too good.
Yeah. Stuff are happening. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay, I can't wait to hear. Guys, we're on to our favorite part of the podcast. I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know what a hot take is?
Yeah, I mean, no one's ever asked me my hot take, but yeah, I know what it is.
What's your hot
There's a
take?
first time for everything.
What's your hot
Let
take?
someone else go first. Stop. I have never done
Do you know what a hot take
Don't put me on
is?
the spot.
A hot take is a controversial opinion that a lot of people will not agree with. So we have a segment on Olim and TLV.
It will make you very angry.
Make you very angry.
As an Israeli, it will make you
Yeah,
very angry.
that is true.
Americans are like,
Ramat Gan is the new TLV.
Yeah. Have you heard about this new CD, Ramat Gan?
So we have a segment every Thursday. We get about 50 to 100 submissions of people's hot takes. Our followers send us in. We think this is a controversial opinion. This is my controversial opinion. And then we pick 6 or 7 ones each week that are the most controversial. And then if you look at the comment section, everyone just debates each other. It's really funny. It's actually very entertaining. So we're going to talk a little about these hot takes from the previous weeks, and we're all going to debate them and say what we think. But
Let's
I kind of
go.
want to hear your hot take first. What's your biggest hot take?
I don't know right now. Stop.
Jacqueline is not that good.
No, I actually love Jack. That's what my husband would say, though.
Yeah, you see? Yeah.
He hates Jack.
And he's
Really? As a Yemenite?
Yeah, he's like a fake one, though. He like doesn't associate, you know.
Okay.
So.
He just lost his passport.
Same.
Yeah, he just lost his passport.
Yeah.
He can't go to Yemen.
Okay, first hot take. I actually enjoy walking around the crowded shuk on a Friday. That's
'Cause
who enjoys walking around the shuk on a Friday?
Americans,
Why?
100%.
I'm American.
Because you walk around and you feel like you're in a Sex in the City and you're walking like in
It's a
in
shuk
crowd.
and
Sex
on
in
a
the
Friday.
City.
Yeah,
I don't know
the
if I would
movie
call
that they
that
made
Sex
when
in the
she's walking
City.
around in the Moroccan shuk and she's like, oh, everybody's so nice. What is this, spices? And you guys wanna, Israelis was just like, that's our life in general.
My
The
biggest
shuk in
nightmare
general,
is-
that's our life. So
My
we
biggest
don't,
nightmare is walking around the shuk on a Friday.
because you're an Israeli,
I
basically.
guess. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like for me, like you said that, and I was like, well, am I walking around without my kids? Then yeah, I'll do it. Like,
No,
sure.
don't look at it
I'm
from a
just
mom
free.
perspective.
I can like just walk around, do my own thing. Like I don't like crowded places, but if it's without the kids, then it's a break. So I don't.
Doesn't matter what you offered.
Would
Like,
you,
doesn't
would you
matter.
enjoy
Send
walking
me
around the
anywhere.
shuk on a crowded Friday?
There are maybe 2 weeks during the year that it's not too hot and not too cold that I would
okay.
maybe
That's a fair
consider
point.
that.
Okay,
That's true.
okay,
There's
fair
a
point.
2-week window. I feel like it doesn't matter what you say to her. It's going to be like, would you, we could go fix your car. And she's like, without my kids? Sure. I will do it in a heartbeat.
I know you're going to freak out on this one.
Oh, God.
Like you're going to agree with it. And I don't.
Okay, let's
Tel
go.
Aviv is the worst city in Israel. I know. He loves this one.
Somebody got our heart broken, right?
What do you think?
I don't think it's the worst because I've been in the worst cities in Israel and there's
Worse.
the
But
worst of the worst.
do you think Tel Aviv's overhyped, overrated?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Interesting.
It's not the worst, but it's very overrated.
I think Tel Aviv is the best city in the world.
Of course you do. That's why I hate it.
because Americans love it.
Because you're like, that's the best city ever. You haven't
the
been
best
to
city in the
anywhere in
world.
Israel so far. You don't know anything.
Tell me why people from all over the world move to Tel Aviv.
When was the last time you visited your grandma? Moving on. Do you think Tel Aviv is the worst city? No.
Look, I come from Petah Tikva, so I
Oh.
think Gaza is cool. For me, Gaza can be cool.
I actually heard Petah Tikva is the most underrated city in Israel.
I don't know, food-wise, maybe lately, because they're opening a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
nice
true.
restaurants
That's true.
lately.
The culinary scene in Petah Tikva is
But
blowing up.
otherwise-
You say that about Ashdod too.
Because it's true.
If there's someone who lives in Tel Aviv and think it's not cool and want to switch apartments with me in Petah Tikva, any day.
Any day.
DM me. We're going to do a Petah Tikva Tel Aviv
Apartment swap.
switcheroo.
Apartment swap. This one's. Woo, working in high tech isn't considered cool anymore.
That's not
I-
true. It's always considered cool.
I don't know. I feel like everyone works in high tech now.
As a stand-up comedian, I gotta say that we have this hobby of like fantasizing about like real jobs. You
Yeah.
know, like we're sitting down, all the comedians, like before a show or after the show, and we're talking about like my brother and my sister. You know, my cousin is working this and working that. And for stand-up comedians, and we make money. It's like we can make, if you're good, you're gonna make a lot of money. And we still like to fantasize about like. So what this high tech thing? Like, do you think it's
glamorous.
more? Yeah, it's very good for us.
Yeah.
As an independent, like comedians, for us, high tech is like it's like the safe bet, and so that's for us. I don't know about other people, but for us, it's.
Do you guys think it's still considered cool? Like, I feel like it was
Yeah.
considered very cool a few years ago, and I feel like it's just stagnant.
I know people get it. It's super cool. And
very
I
cool.
don't think like everyone are working in high tech. Maybe a high tech bubble, kind of
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
I think it's super cool.
My friend Nir actually.
My friend.
The
way you said
My
that.
friend
My
Nir
friend.
Nir Ovad. Okay, my Israeli friend.
Shout out Nir Ovad.
Shout out to Nir Ovad. He would never listen to this, so I love you. Nir is working in high tech, and he told me that he got into the job because that's what he was studying and programming or whatever. He was very like job oriented towards high tech, and he told me like the biggest surprise is the friends from work. That's his
Yeah.
big, because he thought like everybody's gonna be very nerdy and everybody's gonna be like I'm just gonna support my wife and kids and I don't want to I don't want to make any friends. And he told us like my biggest surprise was just like people are very cool,
Yeah.
very chill, very intelligent. You can have like a lot of friends outside of work, like, and from work that you will hang out outside of work. So that was a big surprise for me. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
They're not like weirdos? No, they're actually very cool people. Yeah.
Okay, last one. Israelis cannot dance.
Speaking for myself, that's true.
I would agree with that one.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you, my man. What do you think?
I mean,
Can your husband dance?
Yeah, my husband can dance, but like, I don't know. I feel like they
He's
just
from
have...
Yemen.
He's Yemenite, exactly.
I don't know. I feel like the reason I don't judge them on that is because they just do it. So I'm like, good for you. Like, who cares if you know how to or you don't know how to? Because I'm just like that dumbass that sits on the side.
Yeah,
and
same.
is like,
Same.
Okay.
That's such a mom
Until
answer.
I get pulled up, and then I'm like, okay, fuck, I have to fake it, you know? Just do it,
Amazing.
but-
So you guys agree Israelis can't dance as well?
Yeah, no,
It doesn't bother us.
Yeah, it doesn't bother, but they can't
Dance.
dance.
At all.
Okay. Well, that wraps up our hot takes.
No. We have another one.
I don't I don't know if they'll have an opinion. We can say that one. Say it. You say it.
Let's say
You say
it.
it.
New York Olim are the friendliest Olim.
Oh, she gave a glare.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
What do you think? Miami Olim are the friendliest Olim?
No, I don't know. I guess. I mean, maybe New Yorkers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Matan, what do you think? You have
I think
you know a lot of Olim.
Yeah, I think that I don't know about New York specifically, but like I think Americans are very
Americans,
friendly,
definitely.
and because I don't know, Israelis get really excited about Americans in general.
More than like Canadians or like
we don't
British.
really know. I'm not going to pretend that if you speak English to me, you're American to me. That's very important. Like South African, Canadians, they
all the
think
same.
like you're always talking
you're
about
American.
during the party, they were like, you're always talking about Americans, and I was like, that's English speakers for us. If you're going to speak English
so
to me,
true.
you're American.
Yeah.
London, South Africa, whatever,
It's so true.
Canada, whatever. Even if you're friends and you speak English to me, for me, you're like, oh, that's a nice accent. Where are you from? Jersey? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so true.
So I think whoever speaks English to us is
Is
very
the friendliest.
exotic.
What about
and
Italians?
Italians are the best.
Latin
Italians-
American.
We got
Latin
we gotta
American.
get them on.
Italians are like very Israelis in a way.
Yeah.
And I love what's your name?
Vital.
Yeah, Vital. Come on, she speaks like I told her. I can listen to you speak English all day, and I don't really care what you say.
Yeah.
What you so scared? It's always like end with a
and with a hand also.
You want to smoke a cigaretta?
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I will do whatever you tell me to do. They're
We gotta
very
get her on.
Israeli.
Yeah.
They're very Israeli. I remember us walking out from the party with Michael.
Yeah.
And there were Israelis outside going like, oh, it's so hot outside and it's very crowded. She walked outside and she was like, it's so hot outside, I want to die. It's so hot, I want to die
Sounded
right
so
here.
much better.
Oh my God. I was like, yes. this
So
exactly.
funny. Oh my gosh.
And she's American to me. She's Italian,
Yeah,
like
she's
100%. But for me, she's
She
American.
speaks English, so she's American.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's been it. It was lovely
That's
having
awesome.
you guys.
That was awesome.
Would you take Matan and I into the course?
Yeah, I'm really kind of busy at night, so I got my shows going. But yeah, sure.
I'm free. I'm
Thank
free.
you guys. Thank you guys
Thank you
for
guys
joining
so
us.
much for coming. It was
having us.
lovely
Thank you very
meeting you
much.
guys, and
You
for
can
all-
listen to us.
Listen to us.
and-
Spotify, Apple Play, Google Play, SixFigures.io.
.io.
.il. Yes, you guys can go to the website and check it out. Even if you have no background in high tech or sales whatsoever, you can check them out. And I think it's a great entry to this world.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are looking for, and for the communities that
sure.
are
That you can
forming
take out of it.
afterwards.
Yep.
So that's awesome, and you can watch us on YouTube, obviously, Spotify, everything. And we're happy to be back.
We're back,
happy
guys.
to be back.
We're back.
That's
We're back.
awesome. Thank you guys for
Thank you
watching.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, thanks.
עוד יותר, יוצרי התוכן של ישראל.
הוקלט באולפני אדיו, המשווקת את ספוטיפיי בישראל.
רדיו.